Exercise 101, question 5. Quite an awkward question, this one. Look at it. And the middle diagram here represents a situation or part of it. So if we imagine this tower and we're looking down on it, so that's this here. And in the north direction is indicated on the border straight up. So we've got one observer here who's west and then 25 degrees south, and then another observer over here who is east and then 23 degrees south. So in these positions marked with the cross, they then measure the angle of elevation. So this cross here, we've got an angle of elevation of 46.5 degrees. That's this one. To the height of the tower. So this line here represents the tower height, h, which is what we're after. Coming over to the other side for this position over here, and that's this position. So in this particular diagram, then there's an elevation of 37.25 degrees from that position up to the height of the tower h. We also know that the observers are 75 meters apart. So how can we use this information? Well, the length of this line here, from there to there, is the same as this line here. And the distance from here to here is the same as this distance from here to here. So what we need is an expression for this distance in terms of h, the height of the tower, and the angle that we know. Well, that's trigonometry, because this is the adjacent to the angle and this is the opposite, so it's to do with tangent. Same here, to do with tangent. So you could write down the expression for this length of this side in terms of h and the angle, and the same for this. And that will then give you the lengths of these lines. And from this information about where the observers are, 25 degrees south of west and 23 degrees south of east, we could work out what this angle is. So we'd have two sides of an angle, and so we could work out what h is from there, knowing this information here. So see if you can work it out from there, and I'll work the solution through underneath. But pause it and have a go for yourself. And at any stage you could stop and carry on. So this side, tangent is opposite over adjacent, and this is the adjacent side, so the adjacent is going to equal h over the tangent of 46.5 degrees. Equally, here, this side, the adjacent is going to equal h over the tangent of 37.25 degrees. So, I can come down here now and know this angle. We're drawing in this triangle. I now know that this side is 75, this side is h over the tangent of 37.25 degrees, and this side is h over tangent of 46.5 degrees. I can work out this angle. So that's 25 and 23, they add up together to make 48. Subtracted from 180 makes 132 degrees. So this is 132 degrees. We'll now see if you can work from there and work out what h is. So using the cosine rule, we can write this. h 75 squared, which is the side opposite the angle we know, so that would be, say, a squared equals the other two sides squared, b squared plus c squared minus 2 times b times c times the cos of 132. So now it's just a case of working out what that is, part by part, and trying to get h on its own. So there's an equation to solve. Have a go. So here's the next line. I've squared the 75 and I've worked out what tan 46.5 squared is and tan 37.25 squared is. Minus 2 h times h is h squared. That's this little bit here. All divided by tan 46.5 times tan 37.25. So I've worked out what that is. Times cos 132. And then I'd carry on from there. So I will stop this here, but the file would carry on and work through to the solution.